That's it.
Yes, sir.
How did you discover from that? मेरा पेन नहीं यूज होंगे इसको ये बोल- अब आपको नजर आ रहा
Yes, sir.
है वर्ड फाइल नजर आ रही है वर्ड
Yes.
फाइल है या आपके पास फाइल बोल ओके सो
Word.
वर्ड फाइल so today we will discuss the first thing I think last time that we have started that is cellulose.
Yes, sir.
Cellulose. We have discussed that cellulose is actually a polysaccharide and which is made up of a monomer that is beta glucose.
Yes, sir.
Before that, before from this topic that we have discussed about, for example, starch or glycogen, there we have used alpha glucose.
Yes, sir.
And here is a difference in beta and alpha glucose. So one right now when we will discuss the structure of cellulose, there you will easily understand how it is different. Definitely difference is just the difference of symmetry.
Yes, sir.
Here we will just see the difference in position of hydroxyl group.
Yes.
So in this case, for example, as we know, normally glucose, the structure that we commonly discuss about glucose, that is 6 carbon compound,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So in this case, we say here is one, this is carbon number two, three, four, five, and here there is a carbon which is outside from the ring,
Yes, sir.
right? That is CH2OH. You can write it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In this case, uh, what we will do, we will just we will understand here is OH, here is H.
Yes,
This
sir.
is carbon number two. So here you will have OH,
Yes, sir.
then you have H. Again, you can see here, and the carbon number three, as we know, there is OH
Yes, sir.
and there is H.
H.
And again, in this side, there you will have OH and
H.
what? H. So this is the difference here in this case, because if you can understand or if you can go back on your alpha carbon, alpha glucose, there you will easily understand or you can easily observe
Yes, sir.
that here the position of this hydroxyl group is changed. All right,
Yes, sir.
the position of the hydroxyl group is changed. So in this case, OH is on from one side, OH is on downside, and from other side, OH is on the upward side.
Yes, sir.
So this is the beta glucose.
Yes, sir.
And but we know cellulose is a polysaccharide, so it is the combination of thousands of glucose which are combined with each other through a glycosidic linkage. Here we will just need to understand that how this cellulose is formed. Actually, this cellulose is a very complex polysaccharide which
Yes.
is formed by the combination of macrofibers.
Oh,
Microfibers. We will try to understand how these microfibers are formed.
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So for this purpose, we need to go on its structure, that how the structure of cellulose is actually organized in the cellulose, in the overall the size of I mean the structure of the glucose, or the glucose number, how they are arranged in case of cellulose. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
So let's start from the very basics. For example, we just need to combine two glucose molecules at this point of time.
Mm.
Okay. So for example, we can just go to combine two glucose, two beta glucose.
Yes, sir.
But before that, you should keep in mind one thing that I can just write here, then you will easily understand. For example, you have one glucose here,
Yes, sir.
like this. In here, you can just arrange their hydrogen and hydroxyl group as we have arranged in our uh, previous lectures. For example, here in this case, you have hydroxyl group. You have here, in a similar way, you have what?
H.
You have H here.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Then we'll go on that. Then you can go for another structure that is also uh, a glucose molecule, right? So we will try to understand that how that glucose molecule is arranged. For example, you are going to attach here. Let me show you. Here you need to understand. Okay. For example, again I am drawing another glucose molecule. It is what? It is beta. So what would be the arrangement here? What do you here, or else tell me,
OH.
where would be hydroxyl group? On the upward side or the downward side?
Sir, he
Carbon number one is here. It is two. It is three. It is four, and it is five. It is six. What do you
yes,
think? So
sir,
at the, because
downward.
the carbon which is G, yes,
डाउनवर्ड से होगा इसका.
yes, downward hoga on this side,
Yes, sir.
right? So here is hydrogen, because we know on the carbon number four, if we can understand, if we can just go back and to see that carbon number four is actually there, the arrangement of hydroxyl group and hydrogen is different.
Yes, sir.
So now the problem is of symmetry. At
Yeah.
this time, it is not possible, because we have to combine these two hydroxyl groups, which are very much far away from each other.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So the bonding between these two structures or these two groups is not easy here,
Yes.
because symmetry is not actually permitting us to
Yes.
make this structure, because glycosidic bond will always form between two oxygen, and we know very well there is a symmetry like this,
Yes.
right? So what we need to do here, we just need to do here is, what we will do,
फ्लिप कर देंगे इसको.
yes, to flip it. Like for example, here you have a structure, there you will do what? You have to flip it like this.
Okay, sir.
All right. So it will be completely flipped on the other side. So there you will have the very different scenario. For example, I am
इसमें
raising it here. जी
इसमें
जी जी
कंडेंसेशन नहीं होगी.
Condensation is the general principle which is present in all polysaccharides. Condensation means not that if we are changing its symmetry, or it doesn't mean that condensation will take place.
ये मैं
Condensation
कह रहा
is
था
on
कि
its
अगर
place.
OH और H है.
I'll
सर
show you. I'll show you.
ओके सर.
I'll show you. Like this. What was the situation here like this? Is it correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yes, sir.
6. Okay. So here we have to flip it. So let's talk about how we can do that. For example, and on this side, I'm writing on this side. Now you have the condition like this, like this.
Yes, sir.
Here you have another carbon. Then you will have another carbon. You can make it more accurate and more like. Then you have carbon like this.
Yes, sir.
Then you have carbon like this. So in general, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this. I mean, this is the thing that here in this case, on this side, these two carbons are here, and in this condition, you have these carbons are here. So just give number how we can 1, 2,
Three.
3, 4, 5.
Yes,
What
sir.
was the condition on carbon number 4? What was the condition in previous case? Hydroxyl was on the downward side.
Yes, sir. अब ऊपर चला जाए.
Now it would be on upper side here
Upward.
because we have flipped it. So what is the condition here? It is already hydroxyl is on upward side.
Yes, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
So now the condensation process is easy to occur because we want to condense it by removing water molecule and to form a glycosidic linkage.
Yes, sir.
And we were trying to actually make a symmetry by which we can do it. Right now, it is very easy for us to remove this, to remove hydroxyl from one side, hydrogen from other side.
Yes, sir.
And what we will do, at the end, we will make what? We will make a glycosidic linkage. So there will be condition, like I'm removing this from here by using, because space is not enough. So on this side, what is the condition now? So condition is like, in this case, you would have oxygen is here,
Yes, sir.
and on this, you can make it more accurate. So what is, as a byproduct, that is what is removed. So
Water.
what is this? What is this? This
Very
is a,
glycosidic bond.
yes, this is a glycosidic linkage. Are you getting this point?
Yes.
So this is how, again, you are going on another side. I'm going to make, this is what? This is carbon number 1.
Yes, sir.
What was the condition at carbon number 1? Yes.
Hydroxyl group upwards and
Where would be hydroxyl group at
uh,
carbon number 1? Yes.
downward side.
Downward side. There would be the, is this on the downward side? Are you sure? It is carbon number 1,
सच्ची
not on downward side. It would be on upper side.
फ्लिप हो गया ना.
But it is carbon number 1. You can just consider here. Here is carbon number 1 on this side.
Yes, sir.
And on this side, what you would have? Listen. Here it is already flipped.
Yes, sir.
It's already flipped. So where would be the hydroxyl group now?
सर जी डाउनवर्ड ही होगा.
Downward होगा.
हाँ जी सर जी.
अगर आप this is what?
ये
यहाँ भी
upward
कार्बन है हमारे पास.
यहाँ पे
Yes.
देखिए ना upward.
This is carbon number 1, no?
Yes,
This
sir.
is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. So
Yes,
it
sir.
means यहाँ पे हमने hydroxyl group ऊपर रखा था,
Yes, sir.
right? So
Yes,
in this case, hydrogen was on the
Downward side.
downward side. Now, because we flipped it, just because of that, the hydroxyl group was downward in carbon number 4. So here, in this case, it is carbon number
1.
It is carbon number 1. So here you have the condition of what? OH
Yes,
is
sir.
downward, hydroxyl is upward. So now we are going to make another bond here. So we will see what would be the condition here. For example,
अब flip नहीं करेंगे.
yes, we don't need to flip because hydroxyl group is already on the downward side.
Yes, sir.
For example, like this condition. So here is carbon number 4. Our concern is carbon number 4. So hydroxyl group is on already downward side. Here is the hydrogen.
Yes, sir.
So in this case, again, we are going to make a hydroxyl group.
Yes, sir.
So what we will do in this case, like for example, we are removing this water from here. And at the end, the final thing that you will get here, that is again a glycosidic
Link.
linkage. And this glycosidic linkage is present between which and which carbon number?
1 and 4.
Yes, 1 and 4. It is 1,4 beta glycosidic linkage.
Yes, sir.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
It is 1,4 beta
Beta.
glycosidic linkage. So this is, you can easily observe. So this is alternative. Alternative, you can observe that there is a alternate beta glucose turn at 180 degree, because we turn it 180 degree. If you remember, flipping means what? You are turning that structure at 180 degree, right?
Yes, sir.
Flipping that. So it means there is an alternative change. Here we can write it is alternative flipping.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is the one point that we were actually here to understand, that how the structure is actually present. Now what would be the situation? In this case, for instance, that as we can easily understand that it is like a straight line, like a fiber, like this. All right, like this.
Yes.
It is a very straight line, right? So this straight line is actually uh, shows us that it is going to form a fiber. How it is formed? Because it means we can draw a structure here. We can draw a structure that how it is arranged here. For example, you have like this. It's a one fiber, because these are the linear structures like this. They will arrange like this, right? So these single structures, what we call them, what? We call them microfibrils. I don't know you are getting this point or not. That's very simple. The
Yes, sir.
chain is very straight. It is not branched. Remember, there is no branching in case of cellulose. Cellulose polysaccharides, in which the glucose, which are alternative at 180 degree, they are arranged with one another. They are forming a glycosidic linkage, but they are not forming branches, right? So they are forming a very straight structure, straight chains. There you will get a microfibril. What you're going to obtain here, that is microfibrils. But there is a condition here. As we know, if you, for example, if you draw again another line, another straight structure on the downward side, you will get one. Here there will be a hydroxyl group on the upper side, and there will be the hydroxyl group of the lower line or lower chain structure. So they will form a hydrogen bond. So it means the hydrogen bonding will form between these straight lines.
Okay, sir.
Got it? So
Yes.
these microfibrils, they will be combined with each other. They will be joined with to one another by hydrogen bonding. So there
Okay.
will be hydrogen bonding. And hydrogen bonding, it is the bond which will form between a low electronegative atom and the highly electronegative atom.
Yes,
So
sir.
oxygen is the highly electronegative atom.
Yes, sir.
So hydrogen will actually form a very weak association bonding with what? With oxygen. So as the number is greater in case of these hydrogen bonding, so it form a stable structure of the microfibrils. So
Yes, sir.
these microfibrils, by the association or the bonding of hydroxyl, this hydrogen bonding
Yes, sir.
between the hydrogen and oxygen, So they combine with one another, they will appear or they will show us another structure.
Yes,
Like
sir.
you will get like this, like this. They are together
Yes, sir.
like this. So this is what? It is fiber.
Yes, sir.
It is
Fiber.
fiber. You can say it's a macro fiber or simply fiber, right? So we have started from molecule, and the line that we have shown upward and this at this point, it is a very long chain. So that's this is the association of molecules. When these molecules are combining with one another through the hydrogen bonding, they form the microfibrils, and these microfibrils then going to form the fibers. So there will be an appearance that we will get like the structures like this,
Yes, sir.
right? Crisscross structures. So these crisscross structures are actually giving it more stability, and the structure of the cellulose becomes more strong and more firm. So uh, we can just say the microfibril, for example, this microfibril, that is, it is about 10 micrometer. You can say collectively the number of cellulose which are there, they have the diameter overall that is 10 micrometer. Similarly, if you are talking about fiber, uh,
Yes.
this is one for this fiber, uh, which is here, right?
Mm.
So microfibers, definitely they are also very small. So when they combine to form a structure, that is a fiber.
Yes, sir.
Got it? So this was all about the cellulose. What is its function? How it performs its function? By having this structure, definitely uh, it helps to maintain the structure of the cell. As we know, this cellulose is present in the cell wall of the plants. So in case of plant cells, this cellulose is actually helping the plant cell to maintain its turgidity, because the water which is present inside of the cell, that is
Yes.
applying force outward, right? And
Yes.
it is the probability of uh, the the bursting of that cell.
Okay,
So
sir.
that cell may burst if this cellulose cell wall is not present there, right? So
Okay.
it is providing a, a fixed shape to the plant cell, and it has the capacity to bear all the external pressures. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
So this is just because of its structure, because its structure is very sophisticated and very rigid structure, which is formed by the crisscross arrangement of the fibers,
Yes,
and
sir.
these fibers are actually formed because of uh, these fibers are formed because of the combination of number of alternative glucose, beta glucose molecules, their associations, and they form this complex structure. So
Okay.
there you will have next point. Here until now, if you want to ask any questions, you can
No, sir.
raise. Things are clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now you have another point, that is lipids. इसको एब्जॉर्ब कर लें या थिंग्स कुछ आप थोड़ा सा इसको पढ़ा भी करें, देन सो
Yes.
दैट वी कैन हम इसको फर्दर जो है वो, ताकि आपको जरूरत ना पड़े देन वापस इसको जाके वो करने की, बस एक स्केच बना लिया अगर अपने माइंड में, सो गिव यू हैव
Okay.
टू राइट इन योर एग्जाम्स,
Yes.
because you have already, I mean, it's not new for you. Hopefully, you have already, you are familiar with this.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so that's why उसकी comprehension जो है ना वो बहुत अच्छी, understanding पे कोई compromise नहीं, because in your case,
Yes, sir.
the because the syllabus and the paper pattern, the way it is designed in OA level, so there the important objective of that exam is to check your comprehension,
Yes, sir.
your understanding. Memory is yes, memory is the part of that exam, but that is only 10 to 15%, not more than this, right? So memorization is a very small part of the exam design in case of O level. So there you need to understand its company. I mean, you should know how it actually it is what is the mechanism and how it functions.
Yes,
So this is very important to understand. So let's come towards the lipids. How lipids are important for living organisms. So when you just when you hear this word lipid, so what is the first thing that will come in your mind? So what do you think about this lipid? What is your previous knowledge about this lipid, what it is, and how we can get help from these lipids, from these macro organic molecules?
sir.
जी
uh,
ओरेज, what do you think यार, क्या है बताओ जरा,
sir,
tell me about this.
लिपिड सर जी फैट्स होंगे। मेरे
Mm-hmm.
ख्याल में वो मेरे ख्याल में वो
Okay.
ग्लिसरॉल अटैच्ड होता है एक उसके साथ।
Mm-hmm. Uh, okay, that's fine. Yes. You are talking about its structure,
यस सर।
is it?
यस सर।
Hmm. So, we have 10 minutes. Okay, quickly we can discuss. 10 minutes में हो जाता है एक बार इसका.
यस
अच्छा. So listen, we are talking about lipids. As we have told me right now,
सर।
there are two main components which are present here.
यस सर।
One is fatty acid, and the other thing is
लिपिड।
glycerol. These are the two important components which are by which this lipid is formed,
यस सर।
right? Based on its nature, or its you can say its form of existence,
यस सर।
we commonly divide these lipids, right? For example, we divide normally them into what's wrong? Okay, so we commonly divide them. For example, like ये क्या है? Anyway, fats. एक fats है, and the second thing is oil. Quickly, just tell me, is it solid or liquid? Yes, or is? Are you there?
यस सर।
Uh, Fat is solid, simply.
यस सर।
It is saturated, unsaturated.
अनसैचुरेटेड।
I'm talking about fats,
फैट सैचुरेटेड।
saturated. And what is the difference between saturated and unsaturated? What do you think?
बॉन्डिंग का सर जी।
Uh, Saturated, unsaturated. What type of the difference? Like bonding में क्या difference होगा?
डबल बॉन्ड सिंगल
In
बॉन्ड।
Yes, in case of fats, there will be no double or triple bond
यस सर।
because it is saturated. All the bonds are already occupied, so there is no need uh, to have any double or triple bond. So that's a very simple thing. I think uh, you should know at the very early stage. So it's mostly it is present in animals.
यस सर।
All right. So let's talk about oil. Oil, it would be
अनसैचुरेटेड।
liquid. So it is, yes, it is unsaturated. If it is unsaturated, we will understand it more when we will discuss its structure as well.
यस।
So uh, where it is present, mostly it is present in plants. Remember.
यस सर।
So this is what about lipids. So we have divided it into main two types. That one is fats, another is oil.
यस।
So let's talk about what? Let's talk about uh, let's talk about fats.
यस सर।
Alt plus shift plus wing, what it is. You can't select it, anyway, So fats. So in case of fats, we know fatty acid attached with glycerol. So
Yes, sir.
what is the general formula of fatty acids?
Uh,
Fatty acid. Fatty acid is actually RCOOH. It is what? It is alkyl group, and this
yes, sir.
COH is what? It is a
Carboxyl.
carboxylic acid. It's a carboxylic group, you know.
Yes,
It's
sir.
a carboxylic group, COOH. You must know about this because you have studied in your chemistry. So, second thing, the second component is glycerol.
Yes, sir.
The second component is glycerol. So, in
Yes,
case of glycerol, you will have CH2OH.
yes, sir.
Here you will have again CHOH because it is composed of three carbons. I'm again writing here CH2OH. So it means a three carbon compound actually, one, two, three, right? So you can add anywhere, like in this side you can add hydrogen, from this side you will have hydroxyl group, this side you have CH, there will be only one hydrogen here. So here there is one hydrogen, so here you have two hydrogen. On this side again you will have two hydrogen and OH.
Yes, sir.
So this is what? G, glycerol beta.
सर ये लिपिड्स है एक
Glycerol.
ओ ग्लिसरॉल
One is glycerol. Lipid is actually, that is the combination of two things.
कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ
One
फैट
is fatty acid. When this structure, this RCOOH, when this will combine with this,
यस सर
right? We will study it when we will discuss its structure, like
यस
structure of the some uh, acids like stearic acid, oleic acid, or we will study about the triglycerides, how that triglycerides is formed, phospholipids, how they are formed. Phospholipids, you know, it is very common structure in cell membrane. It is a basic component of the cell membrane. Lipid bilayer, the lipid which is used in cell membrane, that is a phospholipid. So we will discuss it as well.
यस सर
So what is its general formula, and then we'll talk about next. So our next topic would be in our next class, that would be uh, lipids, right? So uh, then you will have, I think, one more uh, topic from here, that would be proteins,
यस सर
and this is how we'll complete. Okay.
यस सर
So I think we should conclude here.
ओके सर
Fine.
यस सर
And see you tomorrow, inshallah.
इंशाल्लाह
All
सर
right.
इंशाल्लाह हाफिज़
इसको स्टॉप करके ना, तो फिर मुझे जो आपके पास पड़ी हैं इसको इंक्लूड करके मुझे सेंड कर दीजिएगा, ठीक है?